Of our talk today, be still and fly. It's all Vincent Chua's fault. He gives me this title, be still and fly. All right. Okay. So we'll try to make it interesting. Okay. Be still. What does it mean by being still? Okay. Yeah. Still here we refer to the state of mind. Okay. Our mind, how to be still, and fly, to be free. Okay. Yeah. To do the right thing. Okay. Be still and fly. Okay. We will have stories to tell. Okay. Yeah. And we will study a sutta in brief together. And for those of you who like to learn further, okay, I've got an introduction to a website where you can go in. And Brother Pia Tan has got a very good website, Dhamma Fera, and then description of suttas, and he has got many stories. Okay. Yeah. So. Okay, we'll proceed from here. Okay, yeah. For a long time, samadhi is defined as concentration. So today, if you look up the Oxford Dictionary, samadhi, okay, there's a definition for it. Okay, it's still concentration. Okay, lately, many scholars has disputed that. Okay, Ajahn Brahm included. Ajahn Brahm has written to Oxford and say, "Hey, come on, samadhi is not concentration. Samadhi is stillness." So, what is stillness? We will define. Okay, we'll try to understand what is it. Okay, yeah. From stillness, when the mind is still, the state of mind when it's still, there is knowing. Knowing is not thinking. Knowing, you just know. You do the right thing. That's wisdom. Okay, yeah. Samma samadhi refers to having this mind that is still, where we understand the cause of suffering and the path to the cessation of suffering. This is samma samadhi. Yeah, but samadhi itself. Okay, we apply samadhi itself in our daily life. Yeah? Samadhi is not sitting down quietly and close your eyes. Ajahn Chah says, if samadhi means sitting down and close your eyes and don't move, then she can be enlightened too. Yeah? Okay. So samadhi means every moment of your awake time. All right? Okay, yeah? Let's watch samadhi at play. Okay, this is their masters now here. Yeah, okay, yeah. Between Mr. Lee Chong Wei and Mr. Bunsak Ponsana. Watch this. Okay, people. There are some people who listen to Dhamma talks with eye closed. Okay, for this occasion, please open your eyes. Okay, watch the video. All right, enjoy. All right, okay. So it is quite fun, right? Okay, but it says samadhi, there's great degree of samadhi down here. Even though the players, these are masters, even though the masters are very active, their body, but the mind is still. When the mind is still, when Mr. Bunsak swings the arm around behind his body twice, right? Twice. Do you think he thinks about it? He doesn't think, he just knows. Yeah, so this is knowing. How do we develop this knowing? Let's watch further. Okay, so these are masters. Masters who are able to keep their mind still and free and know. There are many masters around too. Other professions. This is a profession which I am quite familiar with. Okay. Around almost 6 years ago, okay, the 380 aircraft was just introduced to the aviation industry. Okay, Qantas Singapore Airlines, of course, Singapore Airlines was the first airline who flew the A380, yay! Okay. Qantas too, okay, was a very early customer for this aeroplane. Okay, around almost 6 years ago, this aeroplane had gone from Sydney to Singapore, came to Singapore, and Singapore, of course, they have changed their transit hub to the Middle East now. Okay, Singapore used to be our main transit hub. Okay, so they came to Singapore, this aeroplane went to London, came back from London, and then our story begins with, in Singapore, this crew of 5 had came back from London, did their rest in Singapore, and on the way back to Sydney. Okay, a crew of 5. The captain is the commander-in-chief. The first officer is his co-pilot, and the second officer, okay, in Qantas, the second officer is also a co-pilot, functional co-pilot, sitting behind the captain, and 2 other captains, okay, that came back from London on a heavy crew. Heavy crew means long distance flying. You need pilots to take turn to fly the controls, okay, to man the aircraft. Okay, so they were all in the cockpit. They took off precisely at 9:57 Singapore time, right on time. Got airborne. 4 minutes later, they had an engine explosion. Okay, passengers recounted the aircraft shook and there was this loud sound. This is what happened. Engine number 1, engine number 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. So this is engine number 2. Engine number 2 experienced an explosion 4 minutes after getting airborne. Shrapnel flew all over. Okay, yeah. This is after that they look at this engine. This engine is made by a very reputable engine manufacturer, Rolls-Royce Trent, 720,000 pound thrust. So it's a lot of power. Yeah? And the hot section had disintegrated. Yeah? The disc has broke, and then the hot section, the turbines, the fans, when you look into the engine, there's fan taller than me, you know, huge engines producing a lot of power, spinning at more than the speed of sound. And when it breaks, these fans leave the aeroplane at more than the speed of sound, tearing many things and damaging many other things. Many things drop from the aircraft. Good people, we get information from 3 sources nowadays. Okay, the social media, the mass media, and the professional media. Okay, yeah. The social media in Batam, they were over Batam, and the social media went wow. Okay, they went viral. In the social media is a Qantas aeroplane had crashed. Okay, a body part has, aeroplane part has fallen to the ground, and some parts, they can, yeah, it's there, you know, in the picture, you know, it's some kind of school field, yeah. And then one mass media television station picked it up and also reported that a Qantas aircraft had crashed. Okay, so good people, today my account to you is from the professional media. Professional media will take a long time for investigation to happen, and then this is part of our practice of right speech. Okay, yeah. So that's what happened in the cabin, what happened on the ground, what happened in the cockpit is this. The crew heard the explosion. Of course, the first thing a trained professional pilot do is look at your lifelines, the engine parameters. Take a look at the engine parameters. And because there are 4 engines, they're all aligned. Normal operation, they're all aligned. Then suddenly, number 2 engine just went up. Yeah, the captain, very quickly, he said, oh, this is no good. Okay, reduce the power. Okay, reduce the power. So the first officer, the co-pilot, reduce the power. After reducing the power, you find the engine exhaust temperature, you know, EGT, the temperature, still going up. They say, oh, no, we're going to get a fire soon, a fire warning soon, overheat warning soon. So before they do that, a warning came. Modern aeroplanes, even the 380, this aeroplane can carry 500 over people. Okay, today they carry 440 people on this particular flight. Only need 2 pilots to fly. Okay, when I first started, we started with a navigator, okay, with a flight engineer and 2 pilots. Okay, yeah, and of course the navigator went a long time ago, and the flight engineer went something like 25 years ago. Okay, so today we do not need a flight engineer anymore. The flight engineer is replaced with a robot. Okay, this robot is called ECAM. Okay, Electronic Centralized Aircraft Monitor, ECAM. Yeah, this ECAM is a flight engineer. This aeroplane has got something like 257,000 sensors all over the aircraft, and it sends signals to ECAM, the flight engineer. The flight engineer has got 4 modes of telling the pilots, the professionals. First mode is, I'm a secretary. You have got seatbelt sign on, sir. Okay, your fans are off, sir. You set parking brake, sir. No smoking sign is on, sir. Secretary. A lower grade information from there is, I don't know, Lee. So he can detect, these 257,000 sensors will detect, but hey, this part is working, but, is it functioning perfectly well? I don't know. So he'll send a level of warning to the pilots and say, I don't know. Yeah. So what airlines will do is, before the doors are closed, before engine started, we call in the professionals, say, hey, come boss, come take a look. The real engineers to come and take a look. But once the doors are closed, aeroplane get airborne, no big deal. We will put it in the technical log in Sydney for real professionals to come and take a look, because that part's still working. Yeah, so that's next level of warning. And then above the secretary level, there are 2 more levels. Okay. The first level is, hey, it's not working, it's a caution, come on, caution. Yeah, he will make some sound. This flight engineer will make a sound and then say, hey, look. Yeah, and then 1 level above that is panic. Whoa, come on, do something, and you don't think. Okay, you do something now. Yeah, so these 4 levels. So now here in the cockpit, okay, as they were watching this engine power back, and the captain say, oh, very soon we're going to get a fire warning. And true enough, this, whoa, come on, do something now. Came on, and they had got to shut down. Okay, so it was a fire warning. Okay, so while they were doing shutting down the engine for the fire warning, there are many more pages of faults coming on. Okay, yeah. So now the captain has got to make a quick decision. Do we continue to Sydney, or do we go back to Singapore, or do we land in Batam? There's a long runway in Batam. Yeah. So he selected altitude hold. I mean, don't fly, don't climb anymore. Don't stress the engines anymore. Okay, fly at 7,500 feet. So that's what they did. Fly at 7,500 feet, and then he declared a PAN call to Singapore Tower. PAN means Mayday, means 救命啊, Mayday. Yeah, PAN means, okay, we have got a problem. Don't annoy us. Don't bother us. Leave us alone. Let us sort out our problem first. Okay, so he declared a PAN, and he said that looks like we have got engine fail. There's so many problems. Are they real or not real? Okay, yeah. So we need some time to figure out. So that's what he did. He took off from Singapore. 4 minutes later, he had the engine explosion. Okay, this is their path over Batam. Okay, Tanjung Pinang, that's where they set course. Okay, there are 2 courses to Sydney. One is over Bali, one is over Jakarta, depending on the wind. All right, okay. I'm not sure which one are they doing for this particular flight, but they didn't get there. So after around Tanjung Pinang is around here, so they decided to say, hey, no, so they declared PAN. Okay, so overflew Batam and then went into a holding pattern in Hospa. Yeah, so that's what they did. Okay, the captain flew the aircraft make sure the aeroplane is flyable, continue to command the aircraft. The first officer has got his hands full. He has got so many things to do. He has got to shut down engine, and suddenly the flight engineer is saying that the hydraulic also has got problem. The aircon also has got problem. There's electrical problem too. Flaps doesn't come out. Slats, there's problem. Of the 22 systems on board, this aeroplane has got 22 systems. This problem, this explosion affected 21. Yeah. So they really have got a very crippled aircraft, okay, because of the explosion. Shrapnel flew all over. The problem is these shrapnels, these pieces of flying metal, flying at the speed of sound, tore holes and ripped off metal. And the captain asked the second officer sitting behind, he said, why don't you go behind, go to the window, look out the window and see what happened, what happened. Of course, he went behind. Passengers were very worried, very tense. Okay, and then he looked out the first row after getting into economy class, and then somebody said, come this way, you can see, you can see. Yeah, so he went, but the engine is below the wing. Okay, what he saw is 2 big holes over the wing, and there's fuel gushing up. Yeah, so you have got this fan that broke off, tore through the wing, and in between ripped off wires and pipes and tubes and hydraulic lines, okay, and ripped off at least a few holes, two big holes, okay, yeah. If you search the internet, you can see the picture, and jagged metals flying around, and fuel gushing up. In Sydney, when aeroplanes today, when modern aeroplanes fly, there's a flight control center. Singapore too, we have a flight control center. The flight control center, they will monitor the aircraft. All these aeroplanes are airborne. Okay, the engineers, the flight control center will have engineers. They have got screens all over, and they've got engineers in the same room. They have got pilot representative in the same room. They have got station staff who is in charge of night stop information, who knows about passenger manifest, who are the passengers, nationality of passengers. Okay, we have got people who is in charge of load, people in charge of crew scheduling, in charge of crew flow, yeah, cabin crew involved. So it's a control center. So this flight engineer, and all these sensors also relate information through the satellite to the flight control center. And the engineer that is in charge of the flight control center, sitting in front of the desk, is an experienced guy. When he looked at all those messages, he was saying, this probably is a false warning. Can't be like that now. How come so many systems got involved and so many messages? So the captain has got to make a decision. Okay, do we land now, or do we take our time to hold? So that's what he did. Okay, he went over Hotspur. He took around 55 minutes staying over Hotspur to sort out all his problems, find out what he has and what he has not. And he did some unorthodox things. Normally, the pilots will do a flight control check, see whether the flight controls the rudder move in full movement, the elevator move in full movement, okay, where can I pitch up, pitch down. We normally do it on the ground, but he did it in the air, knowing that some parts are broken, the wings is not strong enough, yet he still wants to find out whether this airplane is flyable or not. And it's a good thing he did, because he soon discovered that this aeroplane can turn right and turn left, got problem. So now as he come in, he has got to make this landing, because if you go around, if you can't make it, you can't really turn left, you can turn right. So this aeroplane is not perfectly controllable. Okay, so when this aircraft took off from Sydney, they carry 105 tons of fuel. That's a lot of fuel, 105,000 kilograms of fuel. Okay, then they say, no, we can't land in Singapore with this weight. They were 40 tons overweight. So they asked the first officer, okay, dump fuel, we got to dump fuel. Very soon the first officer found out that they can't even dump fuel. The fuel transfer valve is failed, it's ripped off. So they can't transfer fuel to the other tank. Okay, yeah. So they have to land overweight. And this aeroplane is very heavy. Normally, they would need 1,800 meters of runway to land. Okay, Singapore Changi Airport has got 4,000 meters of runway, so it's no problem. But with that weight, their initial calculation is they need more than 4,000 meters to land. Yeah, so quickly they do another calculation based on less restrictive information they feed in. Then they eventually found out that they have got something like 135 meters of runway left. Yeah, so not a lot of runway left. Okay, yeah, so as they approached, when they approached, they found that the landing gear couldn't come down. So they have got to use gravity feed. Gravity feed is when you unlock the gears, the wheels will open, the gears, because it's very heavy, will drop down slowly and unlock itself. All right, okay, so they landed, and they landed with 150 meters left to spare. Okay, yeah. So after landing, the captain has got as big a problem as when he got airborne over in Batam. So now, because of the heavy weight, and he has got to jam on the brake disc glows. It's red. It glows. Yeah, yeah. It's bright. At night you see it. It's bright. Yeah, and fuel is gushing out. All right. Okay. Yeah. So, do you evacuate passenger, or do you keep the passengers all on board? Because if you keep everybody on board, fuel's leaking out, there's a red hot brake, it will ignite anytime. If you evacuate, he knows that evacuate, there's 16 slides, you know, that's yeah, we know slides, we all fly, aeroplanes, emergency slides. 16 slides, within 90 seconds, everybody will be out. But at the same time, when you evacuate, there'll be at least 5 to 10% of the passengers will suffer serious injury. People will have broken bones, and people will end up in hospital, and you know it's quite messy. Yeah, so that's what the responsibility. That's the difficult decision you have got to make. But at the same time, the whole infrastructure has got to be good. You know, Singapore firefighting service was already on standby when they declared pan. Okay, so when they landed, they know they were given information that they will have to taxi all the way to the run all the way to the end. So fire engines were waiting on standby. So the first thing they did was foam the aircraft, foam the runway, foam the aircraft. At the same time, spray water to make sure that the water, because foam won't cool down the brakes. Okay, yeah, water will cool down the brakes. But at the same time, there is risk because fuel float on water, and when fuel catches fire, it's going to spread the fire. So that's a lot of risk. Yeah. So they kept everybody on board, and a few minutes later, it must be a long while later, the fire chief called up, Qantas 32. This is the fire chief. Can you please shut down number 1 engine? Then the captain looked at the co-pilot, the first officer, hey, come on, shut down number 1 engine. But the first officer said, hey, I've shut down everything. Hey, yeah, confirm, yeah, I shut down. And then when the captain looked out the window, he said, yeah, really, number 1 engine is still running. So what happened is, even the controls, they exercised the controls because the wires, rigs got torn off. They were not able to control number 1 engine. So the number 1 engine was still running. So what they did was, they disembarked the passengers with number 1 engine running. Now, if they were to evacuate with number 1 engine running, people may run into the engines. Yeah, that will make mincemeat of many people. Yeah, okay, yeah. So now, how to shut down this number 1 engine? So that's what they did. Sydney said, because Sydney has been monitoring this all the time. So this chief engineer in Sydney says, why don't you use a fire hydrant? Call the highest rates, you know, the one that comes up with a lot of water, one, you know, order that one, and then we will inject water into this engine and try to kill the engine. Okay, use water. And these engines, they are made to fly through heavy thunderstorms with ice, with hails, you know, stones this big. All right, okay, they couldn't. So even with the most powerful fire hydrant injecting water into the engine, this engine continued to stay alive. Yeah, continue to spin, continue to turn. Yeah, so it shows how reliable these engines are. So eventually, yeah. Okay, I know what you mean. Yes. All right, point taken. So after disembarking the passengers, they say, maybe we'll foam the engine. So that's what they do. That's what they did. Yeah, they spray foam into the engine, and eventually they shut down the engine. Yeah. So, good people, this morning, these two stories that we share, we're looking at masters who have got the stillness of the mind to be able to decide, walk the right path, do the right thing with a happy outcome. Okay, the mind is still. What about people like us, our lay life? What do we do? How do we walk this path of life with a mind in stillness? Doesn't help today. Our society is very competitive. We live in a competitive society. Competitive society means what? Competitive society means we got to be number one. We got to beat the rest. We have got to be better than the rest. If not, our port can't work, our airport can't work. That's a fact of life. It's like that. When you're number 4, you say, oh yeah, the one who is now number 3 was number 6. Now he's overtaken us. How do we get back? How do we get back? That's a competitive society. Compete. To compete, there is also a competitor. What do you do to the competitor? You try to kill it, right? Yeah, but there are certain things I know I won't share with you. Yeah, there's a certain degree of adversity when there is a competitor. In a competing society, there is also, this is my result. This is my market share. This is I, me, mine. So there's a lot of greed, hatred, delusion. Okay, in our competitive society, it's like that. It's like that. Can we get away from it? No, it's like that. Our society is like that. So be aware of it. How do we get out of it? I've got no answer. The great teacher has got an answer. So we look at a sutta. This morning we're going to share a sutta. Okay, this sutta is called the Dika Janu Sutta. Dika means long, Janu means knee, long knee sutta. Long knee is a young man, somebody's name, you know. So more than 2,500 years ago, people also have got nicknames. So today, if people call you nicknames, just smile, it's okay, you know. So Dika Janu, not his real name, has got a sutta named after him. Okay, so one day he approached the Buddha. Bhante, great teacher, we are laymen who enjoy sense pleasures. So we enjoy our char kway teow, we enjoy our laksa, we enjoy going to buffet, we enjoy going on holiday and stay in a cruise ship once in a while. Okay, yeah. We dwell in a home full of children. Yeah, so we have got family. How old do you think this person is? Dika Janu is full of children. Last time people probably married something like 18 years old. Yeah, I don't know how many wives. Probably at least one, I suppose. Full of children running around. Daddy, daddy. Yeah, so it's a lot of joy. We enjoy Kasi sandalwood. We enjoy good quality stuff. Kasi is the Louis Vuitton. You know, the place that produces very good stuff. We wear garlands, we wear gold chain, we wear garlands, scents. Chanel No. 5, yeah, and we wear makeup. Okay, yeah, put on makeup. You know, we look good, we look cool. Yeah. We enjoy gold and silver, used jewelry and money. Yeah, so we look cool. So this is quite a cool guy, right? Yeah, he's relatively well off. Okay, middle income at least. Yeah, so is it good to enjoy sense pleasure? Yeah, so what do we do? How do we conduct our life? Bhante, to such as us, people like us, can you please teach us the Dhamma? The things that lead to welfare and happiness, both in this life and later on, in future. how to be happy. This is what the great teacher said. Accomplishment in diligence. So he said, young Dika Janu, whatever you do, you're a goldsmith, you're a banker. I'm not sure if there are bankers there. Yeah, then. Okay, if you're a banker, okay, you're an engineer, accomplishment in diligence, do it well. Do it well. You see, the beauty about doing it well is you enjoy doing too. When you enjoy doing, you will do well. Okay, so sukha and virya goes together. Okay, yeah. So when you have virya, put in right effort. Okay, yeah, and then with diligence, there's certain degree of success. Wow, certain sense of well-being. You feel happy. And money will come. It's the byproduct. Okay, but if you keep chasing after money and you can't do a good job, it's very frustrating. Yeah, it's a lot of desire not getting. Yeah, so it's a lot of dukkha. So the point is, whatever you do, do it well. Same thing if you've got children. Okay, yeah, it is important to cultivate this spirit of sukha virya. Encourage. Son, job well done. Very good. 80 marks, that's very good. Well done. Not say, how come 80 marks, 20 marks, you fail. You fail, your cousin does 85. How come you only 80 marks? Yeah, so that's quite disappointing, right? Okay, yeah, so if we were to encourage diligence, okay, yeah, for people to do well, we got to give encouragement, yeah, for joy to arise, okay, yeah. Number 2, accomplishment of watchfulness. Watch. You make money, you do well. You got to watch it too. Floods and fire can come anytime. The future is uncertain. There are risks around. So the Buddha say, buy insurance. Take care. Prevent whatever you earn, your hard labor, from the destruction of floods and fire. Okay, yeah. So take good care of it, of what you earn. Okay, make sure you pay your tax. Yeah, whatever you have got to pay, please pay. Whatever you no need to pay, don't pay lah. So be wise about it. All right. Okay. Yeah. So there are risks. You know, our lay life, there are risks. Risks of floods and fire. There's also risk of ill health. There's risk of losing our livelihood too, you know, our modern day life. Okay, yeah. So we got to insure against all this. Now, despite all this, you find that most of our life, we go about our life without experiencing flood and fire disasters in our life. Okay, yeah. Life goes on, and we live till the ripe old age. But you still need to save up for retirement, yeah. So watch your wealth, prepare for retirement. Okay, so this is what the Buddha said. Okay, spiritual friendship. Okay, we will come back to spiritual friendship later on. We'll expand on it. Okay, spiritual friendship. There are 2 levels of spiritual friendship. The vertical level, there are people whom you call teacher. These are my teachers. Yeah, I learned from you. And the horizontal level, people whom you just feel happy to be with, doing good, okay, discussing the Sutta, learning the Dhamma, practicing meditation, discussing the problems. These are spiritual friends. Yeah. Another type of friends will be friends who, hey, come, let's go casino, let's go to the massage parlor, let's go have a drink at wherever. Yeah. Okay. So different kind of friends. So cultivate this spiritual friend. We will come back to spiritual friend and a balanced livelihood. Okay, yeah. If you work hard, give yourself a treat. Okay, go ahead and buy that Louis Vuitton where you've got a lot of money. But if you haven't got a lot of money, live within your means. Okay, don't have this eye of jealousy. You say, wow, they all live in a condominium with swimming pool. Okay, they go on holiday. How come we're not going on holiday? You know, we're miserable. But if you go on holiday, really happy. How long do you become happy? Yeah. So sensual pleasure is very temporary. Yeah. It's very impermanent in nature. There are other things but we need to cultivate. Okay. Yeah. So lead a balanced livelihood. and spiritual friendship. And the Buddha continued to expand. Okay, accomplishment in faith, to be accomplished, that means success. Okay, do well in faith. Saddha sampada, faith. Faith is confidence. Okay, yeah. There are two types of faith: blind faith and wise faith. There are some people who will go below the tree and put joss-stick and buy huat kueh and put in front of the joss-stick and pray in front of the tree and pray and hoping that I can get 4D and thinking and feel very strongly that can there's a spirit down there. Maybe there is. Okay, and this spirit will make me happy. Okay, is that wise faith or blind faith? Okay, yeah, but there is a wise faith to me would be that if you tell lie, it will cause suffering. And we self-experience by looking, by seeing. Sometimes we say things that are not true, we're not perfect. And then, there is suffering. The mind is not clear, not serene, not still. Yeah, so we self-experience. When we self-experience from the acquaintance of these spiritual friends, whether vertical or horizontal, we ourselves develop this confidence. Wow, it's true. I want to live like that. This is faith. I want to live like that. It's true. Live like how? Moral virtue. There are certain things I won't do. We just chanted this morning. Panatipata veramani sikapadam samadhiyami. Okay, there are certain things we won't do, we won't say. It will cause stress. The mind is hard to be still. When the mind is not still, we think a lot. There's a lot of greed, hatred, delusion. Okay, we keep repeating it. Yeah, and even if you want to sit down quietly and meditate, you find that you can't. The mind can't still down. Okay, yeah, there's regrets. Okay, there's worry about the future. It's like that. The mind is like that. Yeah, it's to be self-experienced. But for somebody who exercises moral virtue, there's some degree of honor and dignity conducting your life. You just feel good about yourself. Certain honor, certain dignity. This is happiness. The accomplishment of charity. Dana. There are many, you come to this center, there are many unseen faces. You know, the brothers who man the AV system, sister who come and do introduction. There is a sister who come in here week after week, arranging these flower arrangements, unseen, unknown. You say, who are? She say, a little bit, nothing. You know, it's humble, not conceited. You know, the buffet spread that you're going to enjoy later on. There are many sisters who come week after week. Actually, they started last night. Okay, preparing the buffet spread. Okay, so as you go about being aware of this center, the facilities that we have down here, volunteers making all this happen, we develop this sense of gratitude. Wow, it's quite nice. Even sitting on the floor, you feel that it's clean, dust, more or less dustless. It feels very comfortable. Yeah, when you sit down on the floor, it's full of dust. You know how it feels. Yeah, so have this sense of gratitude. So we spread the happiness. And if you're able to get to know all these volunteers, watch them. There's this sense of serenity and joy walking around. This is real richness. Richness is not the amount of money you have in the bank. Well, in the physical level, yes, you got so much money. Yeah, but the real richness is how much you can give. It's not how much you have. Act of charity. The accomplishments of wisdom. How do we accomplish wisdom? Wisdom is to be cultivated, is to be developed. It needs constant practice. You saw the two groups of masters. You think they could do that overnight? The team of pilots and the two masters playing badminton, it needs a lot of effort, okay, to have the knowledge, the team of pilots, they need to have a lot of technical knowledge, inside knowledge, technical knowledge. And the stillness of the mind at that moment to know what is right, what is good for a positive outcome. This is stillness. Yeah, so it needs to be developed. It needs to put in effort. It needs knowledge. Okay, so it's all this together that forms the path of our life. Yeah, so this is how to develop wisdom. Okay, keep watching. So how do we develop that? Okay, we can develop that. It's like exercising your muscle. Okay, yeah. You carry this. I weigh 200 grams. It doesn't mean much. But if you do that all the time, every time when you're awake, in the office, in the train, in the bus, okay, you're taking a shower, you do that all the time, very soon, you're going to develop strong arms. If you exercise awareness all the time when you're in the train, okay, in the office, spice up your life. It's like pepper like that. Yeah, our life, we've got so many things to do. I'm so busy. But in between putting a file in and taking a new file, opening a new window, there's 4 seconds. What is the state of my mind? How do I feel? Bring insight. Watch within. 4. We point a finger too often. How can they do that? How can he come into my lane? How come they do that? How come he should do this? But there are many fingers that are pointing within. This is insight to watch within. Okay, so good people, this is the practice. Anytime when you have got a few seconds even, or in a train, okay, in the bus, walking to the shower, in the park connector, a beautiful environment, be aware. Our modern society, there are many traps. We've forgotten how to feel bored. We keep our mind busy all the time. Okay, so there are many things to keep our mind busy. Come, look here, smell this, look at this, hear this. Yeah, so we got earphone on. Okay, something to read, something to play. Okay, so many channels to watch. Yeah, so we may be very knowledgeable. You may be good at doing whatever you are, but very often it's very narrow. We may not be wise. This practice down here is to develop wisdom. What wisdom? Wisdom, this is the right samadhi, right wisdom, right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort. The right thing to see stress. The right thing to practice for the cessation of stress. This is what the Buddha taught. Only 4 steps. There is stress. There's a cause of this stress. The cessation of this stress, there is also a cause. 2 pairs of cause and effect. That's all. Sounds simple, but not so simple. The instruction he gives, also very simple. Do good, avoid evil, purify the mind. Sounds simple? So actually the knowledge is not very difficult. It's the practice that is difficult. Effort. So the virya, vayamo, samma vayamo is a big word. Right effort. Continuously put in the effort. Keep at it. So it's a long path. And slowly you find that, oh, your friends say, hey, you are quite differently. You behave differently. You talk differently. And you yourself feel more serene, more peaceful, and more forgiving. Your mind has started the process of slowly becoming more pure. Then you say, wow, this is quite nice. Faith arises. And you feel confident. Whoa, good. I want to do more. Yeah. So this is to be self-experienced. No need to believe. Yeah. So to watch is to self-experience. Yeah. So good people, to conclude, our lay life, we live in a society, it's like that. Is it good? Is it bad? There are some good points, there are some bad points. It's like that. It is our view towards it. How do we view it? How do we exercise wisdom? Yeah, is to balance this livelihood together with spiritual friendship. Okay, by all means, do your work well, work hard, save money, enjoy your wealth. Okay, but at the same time, watch point number 3 lah. Congratulations, good people, you are here this morning. You are doing that. There are many people outside who don't do that. So what do we do? How do we manage that? Have this sense of compassion. Ah, poor thing. How can you go in and kill so many people at one time? With sharp object. We have this sense of compassion. Poor thing, poor thing. But compassion itself makes us very depressed. Yeah? So equanimity must ride. Metta, karuna, mudita must ride with upeka. Okay? This sense of, it's like that. The world is like that. That's why there are 31 planes of existence. Heavenly realm, we don't know. Some people can self-experience that. Good. But if you can't self-experience God, devas, no, never mind, we park it aside. Okay? Yeah? But we can see the human realms, we can see animal realms, ghosts, hungry ghosts, hell beings. Some people can self-experience, good. But if you can't self-experience, never mind, you park it aside. But people with human bodies, in the mind, the 31 planes of existence is also in there. There are people with a human body that is living in hell. It's like that. 31 planes of existence. So good people, this path is our own path. Look within, look inside. This pure mind is within all of us. We can develop it. Yeah? So what a good path. May you be well, may you be happy. May you continue to progress in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. So this is the end of the talk this morning, good people.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Any comments and questions regarding the topics?
Yeah, there's one question. I rejoice the question, but there's no guarantee you can get a good answer.
Thank you, Brother James.
Thank you, Sister.
Your case study was very exciting. It also gave me a newfound respect for all the pilots who have to deal with such stressful situations. My question to you would be, as a professional, your viewpoint as a passenger. If you were a passenger in an aircraft, what would be your number one fear? Because for me, it's now terrorist attacks. And now when I travel, buying travel insurance is a must. Previously, I hardly buy, but now it's almost a necessity. So for you as a pilot, knowing the ongoings in the air industry, what would be your number one fear if you are traveling on a holiday? Thank you.
Thank you, Sister, for the comment. Yeah, there are there's more than one pilot in this hall, so well done, guys. So that's very generous of you. Okay, as a passenger, do what you can, okay, buying travel insurance to take care of this. So, accomplishment of watchfulness, there are risks. Accomplishment of watchfulness, take care of this risk. Then once you're in the aeroplane, there's nothing to do nothing. Enjoy the in-flight service. Things happen. If it happens, what to do? There's nothing much you can do. All right? Yeah? Okay? Yeah? If you were to be born in some kind of terrorist country, what do you do? You know, it's the tsunami. Okay, the tsunami. Okay, yeah. If you are in Khao Lak, okay, Boxing Day, what do you do? What do you do? But if you think the end of life is this life, the end, that's it, chama. But it will be quite sad. Yeah. But continue to do good, do well, cultivate this mind. This body is not you. Yeah. So the Buddha has got a good explanation to these uncertainties. You know, the future is uncertain. Life there are uncertainties. So uncertainties where we can't take care of, yeah, it's like it's not us. Yeah, worry also no use. All right, okay, yeah. So go about doing your own thing. Air travel is still very safe. Yeah, safer than road travel. Yeah, yeah. Well, air travel is especially for us in Singapore. Air travel it's an important mode of transport nowadays. You know, people travel for business, for leisure. So don't worry, it won't happen to you because you're good. That's a belief. All right, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, do nothing.
Yep. Any other comments or questions?
Just to maybe check on your viewpoint, if someone is in an ill-fated plane, would that, and it's beyond their control, would that then be attributed to past karma?
Cause and effect. Cause and effect. Ill-fated plane. If let's say an ill-fated plane happen, engine failure because of fire, and then it end up with a fire, then the aeroplane crash. The cause of the aeroplane crash is due to fire. Okay, cause and effect. All right. Okay. Yeah. So there are three ways to look at cause and effect in the physical world. Okay, why did this aircraft crash? Okay, accident happened. Yeah, in the physical world. Okay, the brake didn't work. Okay, there was fire on board. Cause and effect. Okay, yeah. The second cause of effect is the spiritual world. The Buddha teaches that there is a cause to something. You know, somebody dies prematurely. There is a cause. Yeah, somebody has got a happy life. There is a cause, and we can understand. We just watch. Okay, yeah, how to lead a happy life. There is a cause. Okay, set up all these conditions for you to lead a happy life. Okay, yeah. Then there is another cause, the body and mind cause. When you're angry, the body shows the certain sign. And being aware of this body and mind connection, it's another wisdom. Okay? When you are joyful, when you are peaceful, the body feels certain sensation undescribable. We use words to describe feelings, but feeling is feeling. Feeling is so complex. Yeah? So we use words. We say relax, still, serene, but they're just words. But you can feel it. Yeah? Huh? So the other wisdom is to watch this body and mind connection. And once you self-experience this body and mind connection, nobody wants pain. It's a natural phenomenon of this body to avoid pain. Okay, when you put your hand on touch a very hot object, you don't have to think. It will come back. Okay, yeah. So develop this sense of wisdom. What makes the body stressed and painful? There's a cause. What makes the body relaxed and joyful and feel like smiling all the time? There is a cause too. Yeah. So the cause and effect. Yeah. Okay, sister.
Yep. No more comments or questions. Let's say thanks again to Brother James Khoo.
Yeah. Before I go, okay, I promise further studies. For those of you who like to do further studies, Dika Janu Sutta actually continues. Okay, yeah, has got Dhamma Farah has got a detailed description for people who want to study this sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 8-54, sutta number 54. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Let's say thanks again to Brother James Khoo again for the questions and answer things. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.